Welcome back to Draugr and Krampus. We are gonna, last video, we cut out the center supports, modified the grill. Hopefully it'll be pretty close to a Danko grill Predator once it's done. Only time will tell. Got a few things in the works. But now I got 12 cans of gaps and cracks foam insulation foam sealant up to 1 inch. We're going to see how it works. Hopefully I got enough cans. Let's get started. Today we're going to be doing a lot of different things. There was a slight miscalculation, and I'll show you real quick. Plan was to do this front bumper. Unfortunately, I didn't layer, sorry it's a little windy today, I didn't layer the expanded foam properly, so I ran out of expanded foam. We're going to shift gears. That's what I've got so far on for work, but we're going to shift gears. A lot of you may know that follow me on Facebook. I've decided to make some grill inserts and some custom speaker boxes for Magnums. I'll show you here. Like I said, if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen most of this, but just in case you don't, we're going to do a fiberglass mold of this pocket and of that pocket, and plan is to start producing custom fiberglass speaker boxes. I'm doing 12s for the moment. If you want a 10, I'd be more than happy to send it to you with the hole not cut out, and then you'll have to cut out the 10-inch hole. I do not have the necessities or the measurements for a 10. So I know one guy hit me up on Facebook wanting to know how to take those panels out. So we're just going to do a little rundown of that. So this is the inside of Krampus. We're going to show you what needs to be removed. Maybe we'll go to this side. There we go. A little bit better. Sun's coming over the house. This panel has to be removed. That panel has to be removed. This has to be removed. This has to be removed. And then if we go over here to the inside, this cushion here has to be removed. And then you have to unbolt the seat belt. And we'll go over to Krampus, and since I've got the panels out of it, and I'll show you all the locations of the clips and bolts and screws. Like I said, you got to remove that cushion. I don't think I removed that, but you got to remove pretty much all that to get that one panel out. So let's go over to Krampus. Don't mind the mess. It's a rat's nest. Like I said, if you follow me, you know what's going on. Okay. So there's a screw here. There's one right there. No, one right here. One right there. One there. You got one up here. You got a clip spot, clip, 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 clip. A lot of clips. Same on the other side. Clip, screw. You have one screw that's right here. This is the bolt for the seat belt. You have a screw right here you got to get out. Let me get my hand out of the way. There we go. Here in a minute we'll go over and I'll show you the backs of the panels. And then we'll get started. Okay, so here's the seat belt. Now, on this panel, on the cushion, there's a bolt right here. You gotta take that bolt out, and then there's a clip that goes right in that hole that you have to push down on and pop out. And as you can see, I didn't take that panel out like I was confused about earlier, but pretty much you have to strip the whole inside of the rear to get those panels out. Just another look. Don't mind the rat's nest. I haven't done nothing to Krampus. It's just been sitting here. There's a screw there on this side. We'll go over to the removed panels. I'll lay them out, point everything out. Alright, now that we're back in the shed, where it's not so windy, this is the cushion that's on the side of the rear seat. Like I said, there's a bolt right here. I showed you in the car. Here's the clip. What you got to do is you got to come from the top and push down on it, and it'll pop out. So there's one part. That's the cushion. Show you a couple more pieces here. Alright. Like I said, don't mind the rat poop. I did not clean these up yet. I will get them cleaned up, just not at the very moment. I have so much other stuff going on. Alright. So what we got is all the pieces. So this piece is the header piece that runs across the roof line. And as you see, it's got little locks. Those you don't really have to worry about. Looks like the rat got a hold of that one. And something got a hold of that one. But here's the clips. It's in the headliner like this. Pull it down, take a flat tip, start on the outside, and just slowly push in on the clips. And this one, once you get these two out, it'll fold down, and you should be able to come in from this side to get the clip on that one. Good long flat tip, skinny pry bar. You should be able to get to those clips. I use flat tip screwdriver for the most part. This is the rear panel that goes on the back corner. Same thing, flat tip on the clips. Just got to locate them and then push in on them. This one you can get from the side, this one you get from the top. You get from the side and then from the bottom. Once you pour that clip in on one side, it snaps right out. We're not going to go through all the pieces, but we'll go through most of them. It's the same on both sides. So you got a small screw right here that you got to take out. And you got to undo, get the seat belt out of it. And then this pops right out. Pretty simple, pretty easy. These clips they lock, but they don't lock. You can just pop up on it. It'll come right on out. If you want, you can use a screwdriver if you can get the flat tips to them, or whatever it may be that you have available. Looks like the rat's got a hold of this, so that's great. Okay, so you have the two screws here. Now Krampus has the little hooks, and I guess Draugr, looking at it, has the little hooks for a cargo net or something like that. But you got two screws here. You got the cargo net deals. And that's pretty much it for this. Just the two screws and then the two cargo nets, and then this comes right out. Everything else is clipped, flat tip, small skinny pry bar, comes right out. So now on to the main panel. I have it taped off, getting it ready for fiberglass work so I can start molding or making a mold. But you have the cargo clip here that you have to undo, and I don't think just looking in Draugr real quick to double check and make sure what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. So, sorry for being all over the place. Okay. So you got the cargo net hook D-ring that you clip to. You gotta undo it. Once you do that, it's pretty much just clips and a few screws. There's a screw right here that you gotta take out that I showed you on the side of the 6x9 speakers. You have a screw right here where if you have the cargo net, it kind of hooks. You got to take that screw out. Onto the back side. So, screw. You got another one back here behind here. You got your clips. You just got to locate the clips. Use your flat tip. Use your skinny pry bar, whatever you may have. Push down on all of it. Just find a spot and push on it, and it'll pop right out. So there's another clip here. You got a small screw. Let me slide over into the camera here. Another small screw here. And that's pretty much it. Once you take all the trim pieces off, there's only a couple screws and a couple clips on the main piece itself, and it comes right out. Like I said, you got to remove the seatbelt. You got to remove all the trim away from it. And unfortunately, the trim pieces interlock, so you have to take them all off. I guess you don't necessarily have to take them all off, but you don't want to tear anything up. You don't want to. Best thing to do is to take them all off. They're easy. As long as you use a screwdriver, flat tip, or the skinny pry bar, I'm going to keep repeating myself because you really need to do it. Or if you have the trim tool, I know a lot of people don't have trim tools to take the trim out or put the trim in, but you can break those clips and you can break those mount clips where the clips mount to. You don't want to do that because then you're looking at plastic welding and then loose pieces and rattling pieces, and it's just a mess. So take your time, just search for the screws. If you need to watch this video over and over again a couple times if you have to. If I went too fast, I apologize. But I got a lot of stuff that I want to try to get done today. I had to work yesterday morning at my full-time job, so wasn't really in the mood to do much yesterday. So now I'm kind of jamming everything into one day. But that's beside the point. I feel like I'm rambling. All right. So today we're going to work on starting the fiberglass process for a mold. If I have time, I'm wanting to take the rims and tires off of Krampus, clean them up, touch up the paint on them. I'd like to get them back onto Draugr, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. If not, it'll be next weekend's project. So just so much to do and so little time to do it. So let's get started.
Feel the wind, it whispers a song of freedom.